Okay. Okay. Not to go overboard, I suppose. Hey, so what's up, guys? So it's today. Welcome to my vlog, and that is the last vlog before my trip. So I'll give you some info about what happened during the week and stuff, and so on, so forth. So yeah. Anyway, so first of all, I did some calculations when it comes to my camera, and yeah, the SD card I have on it right now, 128 gigabytes. Yeah, that's not enough. It's not even barely not enough or something. No, it's a lot not enough. By about, well, I don't know, another 64 gigabytes or something. It's not enough. That much, yeah. So yeah, I had to order another SD card, because from what my calculations, basically, for 1 hour of my footage on 2.7K 60 frames, 1 hour of my footage means 10 gigabytes of space. Now I could lower that to, for example, 1080p 60, which obviously would give me about half an hour more of footage, but it doesn't really save my ass. And I could go, for example, 2.7K 30 frames, which would give me, instead of like 21 minutes, maybe 25 minutes. But then again, 4 minutes on each clip does not give me shit that much. And I'm using 30 FPS, which, it's like I can use 30 FPS on my old camera. That's why I bought this one, because I wanted 60 FPS. It's that simple, innit? So that's why I want to record in 60 FPS. So I had to order a new SD card, basically. So I ordered another 128 gigabytes SD card, which should be more than enough for my journey there and back, and going around like Scotland and Lake District, stuff like that. Having a look. Besides the SD card, I ordered also another battery and a charger for my battery, and it does charge faster than hooking it up to my computer. I've noticed, because it does. Okay, free to go, pretty much. So it does charge much faster than, compared to my PC. But at the same time, you don't have to buy the charger as in a specific charger like I bought, when you have two-way charger, kind of two batteries at the same, or you can put 3 batteries in there. But it charges one battery at once, so I don't know. But you can also buy like just normal mobile phone adapter kind of thing, plug for mobile phone charger. You can buy that, or use that even for charging your batteries, right? But this one has a case kind of thing, so you put the batteries inside and everything, and it's like kind of maybe change my gear from third, I suppose. And so you put them in there. They neatly sitting inside that compartment, and they charge pretty fast. So I'm not complaining that much. It's like, and it fits inside my case. That's why I bought it as well, because it fits inside my case. It is a place designed for it to fit. That's why I bought this one, not just like a normal phone charger kind of thing. Although I have a phone charger kind of, yeah, I'm gonna take it anyway with me. So. But yeah, that's what I bought, and so not to pay kind of for the delivery and stuff, I bought the SD card as well over there, and it's cheaper as well. I'm gonna go straight, because I don't want to go behind that moron. Moron! I'm gonna go 30, because I think it is 30. I know humps. I forgot about the humps over here on this area. So yeah, that's SD card sorted. But I want to talk about SD cards in a bit more detail kind of thing. And yes, I am using my air cushion today. I pumped it a bit more, so I don't feel them bumps as much. It's like, yeah, I've been riding for half an hour, if not more, before I started recording. So, because I do like to enjoy myself as well. It's like I record, but I also ride around. So, if you will, I'm on second gear. Well, I'm supposed nothing behind me. Oh, there's a car. There's a car. So, what about the SD cards? What I wanted to talk about? Well, simply, when you buy a SD card and it says 128 gigabytes or 64 gigabytes or whatever, let me change the gear to third, you don't actually get 128 gigabytes or 64 gigabytes. So if you remember that I told you that my 1 hour of footage takes 10 gigabytes of space. Now, you might say that, it's 12 point something hours I can record on this SD card, which is 128 gigabytes, but that's not the case. That's not how much I will get out of it. No, it's more like 11 hours point something. So I have 116 gigabytes on this card of usable space, right? Why is that? Well, I don't know, don't ask me. Don't put enough storage into my storage. Basically, that's the problem. But you may say, but they advertise 128 or 64. Why is there less? And I've looked at it from the standpoint of the bytes, and neither kind of argument I would have for it makes sense. So 128 gigabytes is simply, if you read it, gigabytes, 128 gigabytes is a unit of measurement of how much storage space you have or data you can fit or whatever, right? Now, 128 gigabytes. But if you read it differently, you can say 128 giga space bytes. And there is a difference. There is a difference because if you read it like that, it would mean that you have 128 giga, which is a number at this stage. So it's not a measurement anymore, but it's a number of bytes. And there is a difference when I read it like that. So if you say 128 gigabytes, it should mean 128 gigabytes. But when you say 128 giga space bytes, well, there is a difference. And that difference is basically saying a number. At this stage is number of bytes. It's not even a unit of measurement, it's a number of bytes. And giga means to the power of 9, basically. Mega is to the power of 6, kilo is to the power of 3, right? Basic stuff. And so you don't get, I was thinking that, they probably give you 128 giga space bytes, but I checked and that's not the case either, because 128 giga space bytes would be I'll cut that out because I was coughing. Anyway, so 128 giga space bytes would be 128 billion bytes. And if you check on your computer, your SD card, your storage, you don't even get that. Because 128 billion bytes does not make 128 gigabytes. That's not how storage works. That's first thing. And the second thing, you don't even get that. So what do you get? Well, you get enough bytes to produce 116 gigabytes, which is 100, maybe 20 billion, something like 190, 20 billion bytes, something like that. So that's what you get. So it's short. So both arguments, you can say, oh, okay, it's like they treat gigabytes as an equal number. So for example, 1,000 megabytes is 1 gigabyte. That's not the case, but if they treated it like that, that still wouldn't work. So if you had that argument, basically that 1,000 megabytes is 1 gigabyte, you still wouldn't get that because the bytes don't align with that in the SD card. And in order to get 128 gigabytes as advertised, you would have to have like 140 billion bytes. So that kind of thing. Because a lot of people may not know that, or a lot of people may not give a shit, or may think wrong, but 1,000 megabytes is not a gigabyte. No, that's not how the computers operate. It's to do with binaries. I'm not going to explain that, all that crap, but it's like, basically, 1024 megabytes is 1 gigabyte. It's not a full number, it's not a whole number kind of thing. So you don't get in 1 GB it's not 1,000 megabytes, it's 1024, and it's the same with kilobytes, and it's the same with bytes. And then you have the lowest denomination, which is bit. And a lot of people don't know that. I've seen that. Excuse me. I've seen people use like megabits or gigabits as a unit. It's not like we don't use that unit. Steal the fucking bike. I don't know. It's just like without helmet or something. Like shady as fuck, man. So it is fat. So they're wrong basically. When you say, for example, megabits, you mean the lowest denomination of a unit, bit, and 8 bits make 1 byte. So if I had the storage of, let's say, 64 gigabits, I would have 8 times, or even not, if not more, 8 times less storage basically. So I have a lot less storage, 8 times basically, because it's not bytes. 1 bit is 1 bit. It's like 1 pixel. Whereas 8 bits make 1 byte. So therefore, we count this in bytes, so you have much more than you actually think. But anyway. But even if you count it like that, like I said, it's like you counted the bits, you don't even get 128 billion bits. So what warrants them to call that card 128 gigabytes? Because it doesn't have that. It doesn't have 128 giga, which is to the power of 9 bytes. It doesn't have that. It has like 120 billion bytes instead of 128 billion. And even then, if it had, it does not equate to 28 gigabytes, because that's not how, like I said, computer works. So you don't get 128 gigabytes, as in 28 billion bytes does not make 128 gigabytes. That's what I'm saying. So it's a conundrum to me, because can they not? You may say, oh, well, maybe they cannot put that. But how they make 256 gigabyte cards? So obviously they can put more stuff. I don't know. I'm not in the manufacturing of SD cards, so I have no idea why they. And it might depend on company as well, like who makes the chips and stuff, like everything. It might depend. Some companies might have closer to the. Might be closer to the like original kind of advertised stuff. Some might be further away because it's cheaper card or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's like you never get the amount that is specified. And even if, at most, it would be specified at to the giga space bytes. So 128 billion bytes, 64 billion bytes, not actually more to make your 128 or 64 gigabytes. I think it's interesting is no one really talks about why is it that we don't get the actual number of bytes in our storage that we have. For example, 128 billion bytes, we don't get that, and yet the card is actually called 128 gigabytes. So whichever way I read it, if I read it as a gigabyte as a unit of measure, or if I read it as a number, the amount of bytes, it still does not solve the problem that they're missing billions of bytes. So that's what I'm saying. You never get the amount that they advertise. I don't know why. It's like that does not, and it's not only with SD cards, don't get me wrong, it's with everything that's to do with storage, which is interesting enough. It's still interesting enough, because you buy SD card, not SD card, SSD drive or hard drive or whatever you like to call it, portable drive, for example. It will be advertised as 1 terabyte, but you will not have 1 terabyte of storage. It will just not have that. I have a portable, I think half a terabyte, 500. It's not even half a terabyte. 500 gigabytes is not half a terabyte. But for the sake of it, just half a terabyte. So a 500 giga hard drive, right? External hard drive, kind of, you can plug it into your computer. and it does not have 500 gigabytes. It has 400, I don't know, 73 or something like that, for example, or 480 or something like that. Like, it does not have 500 gigabytes or even close to it. It's like this huge disparity. I have no idea why. So I have no idea why they're allowed to actually advertise and say on the card, like, this is a 64 gigabyte card, but it does not have 64 gigabytes. I have no idea. I have no idea how that is allowed. I just literally don't know. Because they don't have to use the number 100, like 128 or 64. They don't have to use that number. They can just say, oh, it's 60 gigabytes. They don't have to say 64. But I suppose everyone's so used to those numbers. Like, although they produce maybe like 60, or instead of 128, they produce 120 gigabytes card. But everyone's so used to those numbers, they don't change them. Still wrong, but or it's just, I don't know. It's like it seems more, and it's like they just allowed to do this. I don't know, and don't ask me. I have no idea why. Because it certainly is possible to put more on the cards. Okay, since besides 64 you have 128, besides 128 you have 256 named cards. So obviously you can put more on the SD card. I don't know. Don't ask me, I don't know. Everyone's on the right, I'm going on the left, and I'm going to overtake everyone. So yeah. That's my rant about SD cards. Don't really have any other topic. Soon's my trip, and basically just preparing everything. And pump my tires today. After this trip, I'm gonna go to tank my bike. So once this vlog is over, I'll go tank my bike and pump my tires so they're ready for the trip. Oil, everything is changed already. All the liquids are changed, so I don't have to worry about that. Which one you're gonna choose? Okay, I'm gonna choose this one. I don't have to worry about that anymore. Like, everything's changed pretty much. And yeah, now I can do 1,000 miles on it. Now it's not gonna be a problem. I can open it up a bit, I suppose, because this Ford is faster than like German cars, mate. So yeah, I'm not gonna, I don't know how to think about the whole kind of storage space kind of thing, but it's a something. If you didn't know, it is true. Like, you can check any SD card, you can check any SSD drive, any hard drive, and it's gonna be what I told you, which is not gonna be as advertised, as close I think as you can get. Ooh, that was close. Forgot about the camera. As close as you can. I wouldn't get the thing even 45, because it's higher than actual speed limit. So yeah, next time you're gonna see me, like I say, it's gonna be videos from my trip. You're gonna see the way there first, and I'm gonna do like a half an hour maybe video of me going there with some stops and stuff like that, just more interesting stuff maybe. And then I'm gonna move on to me riding around there. And obviously I didn't want to go through that, but okay, fuck it. I mean, I pumped my tires, it's not gonna destroy them, I suppose. I'm not gonna go any further than that, it's like pointless. This guy's throwing butts or something on the dry grass. Nice job, mate. Create a fire in it. Anyway, yeah, so that's pretty much it from me. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed sort of the topic of storage, SD cards and everything. So yeah, it's pretty much that from me. I'll see you in my next video from the trip. Have a nice one, have fun, and blast out.